Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I make a game for a school project called CodeKitty. Make sure to stay until the end to see how it turned out. It all began a couple months ago when my computer studies teacher told us we would be learning Python for the rest of the school year. But since I had already known Python, he said that I could make anything I wanted in any programming language. And since I'm a game dev, I decided to make a game in Unity. I didn't want this game to only be for entertainment. I wanted the players to learn something along the way. So why don't we teach the players basic coding concepts, because it's computer studies class. Then since I like cats, you mix them both together and boom, you get CodeKitty. First off, I coded some basic movement and made some pretty bad sprites. But don't worry, these aren't final, they're just placeholders for now. I used Unity's new input system for the movement, which works much better than the traditional old system. I also added in a tile map and placeholder ground tiles. I then added smooth camera movement with the Cinemachine Unity package. I also added a basic dialogue system and a task you must complete. This task would help students learn about variables and would be one of the many tasks in the game when it's finished. I then improved the art and made a running and idle animation for the player. This improved the look of the game drastically. The next feature I was going to implement was a video pop-up after dialogue to explain certain coding concepts with visuals rather than just text. Making this feature took some time and lots of trial and error. One issue I struggled with a lot was detecting the length of the video and disabling the video player when it ended. But after some work, I finished the video pop-up. Next, I created a story for the game, which are told by these signboards. The game was looking pretty good so far, except for the fact that it was filled with bugs, so I spent a day or two spotting and fixing a bunch of them. After that, I realized the variable minigame needed some art, so I added a sprite for the box. This box would represent variables which hold data. Now it's time for something that would make the game look way better than it was. Adding a background. I decided to add a parallax effect to simulate 3D depth in a 2D world. In a parallax effect, objects that are meant to be close to the camera move faster than objects that are meant to be farther away. I designed a pixel art background for the parallax effect, which I would add in code later. Here are all the separate layers for the effect. I followed a few tutorials and a couple hours of coding later, we have this awesome infinite parallax background. More lessons and minigames were next on my list, but I soon realized that I didn't have enough time to add them in. The deadline was quickly approaching, so I decided I would finish up the minigame I already have and submit it like that. My teacher had told me that this project didn't need to be a complete, fully finished game, but rather a prototype that could show my programming skills. So I finished up the minigame and added in a main menu. I also animated the first lesson video to go along with the variables minigame. Lesson 1. Variables. Variables are like containers that hold value. They can hold different types of values, such as numbers, strings, or booleans. You can always change what's inside the variable. Every variable needs a name. For example, this variable for collecting the highest score a player achieves is called high score. In this minigame, you must collect the values and drop them in the containers, just like how you put value in variables. Good luck. And that was it. Although I wasn't able to add everything I hoped for, I think I still made a pretty awesome prototype, which could be improved in the future. So that's CodeKitty. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you want to see more game dev videos, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Bye.